Ho ho!
Getafe is always a tough visit. They're a very competitive team. Their coach knows how to get the best out of his players. He knows how to organize them. And it's always a very demanding match there.
I wanted to ask you about the international break and the game that, if nothing changes, will be played in Miami between Villarreal and Barcelona, and about the players' and captains' protest against it. What's your opinion? Do you agree with it?
My opinion is the same as when you asked me a couple of months ago. We're against the idea of that match because we believe it distorts the competition. There hasn't been unanimous agreement among all the participants for the game to be played at a neutral venue, and there hasn't been any real consultation either. So the protests are positive because many clubs feel the same way. What we're against is that it's being decided unilaterally. If there were unanimity among everyone involved, then fine, go ahead. But that's not the case here.
I understand you'll stop the match for 15 seconds in protest, but do you think there should be a stronger action? For example, not playing that league match in Miami, that Madrid and the other clubs involved should refuse to play.
I've just answered that, and our position remains the same. Any decisions that need to be made to prevent it from happening are probably up to others, but our stance hasn't changed.
The other day you mentioned you like when players who aren't starters still take part in rondos. I'd like to ask you about punctuality. How important is it to you? Even if it's an internal matter, could being late lead to a sporting or financial sanction under your system?
I think respect is fundamental in any dressing room, and discipline is too. We have our daily routines, which are important because we have a very demanding schedule, and they must be respected. The players understand that well and follow them properly. And yes, we also have internal regulations, of course.
The injuries in defence have given Asensio more playing time lately, especially after a World Cup that didn't go too well for him. Could you analyse his role in the squad? What do you value most about him, and what have you been working on with him since August?
I think Raul has great anticipation and strength in duels. The more efficiently he uses those qualities, the better for him and for us. That's one of his biggest assets. Mistakes can happen, like those in the Club World Cup, but this season, whenever he's played, he's shown a very solid, reliable level. He's performed well whether playing a bit wider or more centrally. That flexibility is important. Even if we switch to a back three, he can play comfortably as the right center back. He's very competitive, which is something many players from Valdebebas, from La Fábrica have in their DNA. You can feel that with Raul. He still has room to improve, of course, but that negative feeling from the World Cup is already behind him, for him and for everyone. It's a new season, and he's been reliable and available whenever we've needed him.
Regarding the left-back position, now that Mendy is back, you have 3 players for that role. Could this open up the option of playing with 5 defenders and using Álvaro Carreras as a third centre-back?
It's really good news to have Ferland available again. We need some time to work with him and the team, to get him training, building up minutes, and most importantly, avoiding any setbacks. That's key for him. He'll probably need a few weeks to be fully ready, but it's positive because it gives us more options. Fran can play as a wing-back or as a full-back. Álvaro can play both as a full-back and a center-back. And Ferland is also very competitive. So yes, it gives us another variant. We've used that system before, and I'm sure we'll use it again in the future. When exactly? We'll see.
When you arrived at the start of the season, you talked a lot about blocks. I guess now a new block begins. With Getafe, Juventus and Barca coming up, is this the toughest block so far?
For me, every time we finish one block and start the next one is always the toughest. This one has slightly fewer matches since we have a full week to prepare, but we still want to keep moving forward, both in La Liga and in the Champions League. In both competitions, we want consistency and strong performances. Right now, our focus is only on what's next, and that's Getafe. We're aware of what's coming, of course, but what we've been talking about internally is tomorrow's match. It'll be a demanding game, every away fixture is. So far, we've been quite consistent and reliable, but we can't let our guard down. La Liga is very competitive. Every opponent is well prepared, and tomorrow will be no different.
You often say that the Club World Cup and the current situation are very different contexts, that this is more real, while that was a more specific circumstance. Back then, Ceballos didn't have much of a role, but now he's been starting several matches and showing his importance. Though he's had bad luck with knocks and small injuries, this time it's just a hit. Does that affect your plans much? And had you already envisioned him as a player who could add that creativity and rhythm to your football?
No. I've known Danny very well for a long time, and what he's giving us now is exactly what I expected. He's not available for this match, but hopefully, I'll be cautious, we'll have him back soon. I was always clear about what Danny could offer and the type of player he is. He brings different qualities, his understanding of the game, how he links up with others. For tomorrow, he's out, but hopefully by Wednesday he might be ready.
I imagine during the international break, you followed your players with their national teams. I'd like to ask about Vinicius and Rodrygo. Vinicius played almost as a false nine under Ancelotti for Brazil. Do you also see him fitting that role here at Madrid? And what did you think of Rodrygo's match against South Korea?
Yes, I watched that match. With Militao as well, we shouldn't forget him. With us, Vinny has sometimes played a bit more as a winger than as a forward, but we've also used him in that more central position. Brazil used good rotations there. It worked really well against Korea, with very mobile players who interpret the game intelligently. So yes, it's a possibility we could explore in the future too, given the type of players we have.
I wanted to ask about Kylian Mbappé. He missed a few training sessions with the group this week. How is his ankle? Is he ready to start tomorrow?
He's fine. His ankle is okay, he's in the squad, and yes, he could start.
I wanted to ask about some comments from former Spain coach Vicente del Bosque. He said you're doing a great job here at Madrid, but that sometimes you're too transparent when you share your ideas and thoughts. Do you agree with that?
Well, last time you asked me about an opinion from someone in Argentina, and now it's Vicente. I have a lot of respect and affection for him. We have a very good relationship. Vicente sat in this chair for many more years than I have, and he knows exactly what coaching Real Madrid means. I'm just getting started, and hopefully I'll keep improving with time. Anything Vicente says, I listen to very carefully.
During this international break, there's been talk in the media that both Endrick and Gonzalo could get offers for more playing time elsewhere. How do you see their situation? Would you understand if one or both came to you asking to leave?
No, that's not something that's in my mind right now, and it hasn't happened. I think both are ready to play. They're competing in positions where there's strong competition, which is good both for them and for the team. But no, that's not on my mind at the moment.
I wanted to ask you about Bellingham. Is it a personal challenge for you to help him recover the version of himself we saw in 2023, that first period when he was at his very best?
Jude has been training for some time now. He's been preparing well since recovering from his shoulder surgery, and he's doing better. We need the best version of Jude. I see that he's eager to feel good again, to enjoy himself on the pitch, to help the team, to play well, to make his teammates play well, and to show what an incredible player he is. We need him. Time has passed, and now, with more training under his belt, he's better prepared.